Merry Christmas. Well, it's the day after Christmas, and when you listen to this or watch this, it'll be the second day after Christmas. But I spent all my time with my kids and family, and I promised myself I wouldn't drop an episode on Christmas Day. I wanted to just really focus on my kids and taking time away. You know what I mean? But I hope you guys had a good holiday. I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to let these holidays stress me out. And for the most part, I did pretty good. I had moments where I felt the stress creeping up on me because around this time there's a bunch of holidays are pretty emotions are really high. You got people that are going through stuff with regards to family and life and work and financial hardships and whatnot. And I know that there was a few years where I dreaded the holidays because I was just going through it. I wasn't in my best. I wasn't in the best situation. You know what I mean? And over the years, it's gotten better. But to be honest with you, man, it's still hard. It gets difficult. Um, and if it's not that, then you start stressing about, you know, gifts and money and am I doing enough? And, you know, you wonder, you start comparing yourself. I know I've caught myself doing that where, I'll see people sharing things that they got their family, got their kids, got whoever, their loved ones. And I'm like, damn, I'm not able to do all that. You know what I mean? And you could kind of put yourself in a bad spot and start really stressing yourself out. And the holidays can do that to a lot of people. I know that they've done that to me. But yeah, I mean, there was times when I was, back when I was going through my shit that all of that would bug me. My relationship status bugged me. My living status bugged me. My kids living in two different homes bugged me. Me being alone and away and not having family in California for the most part bugged me. I always tell you guys that my holidays are really different from most people because I do have family out here, but not a whole lot of family. Not family that I'm like really close to. So in a sense, I'm kind of in California by myself. I'm at that age where I don't run around with a whole lot of people. I don't have a clique of guys that I hang out with. I don't have a big family out here. My family is so spread out now. And ever since my grandparents passed away, they used to put out the signal for the holidays. And now that don't happen anymore. So my holidays are very different now. And, I'm sharing that with you because, I did have a moment this holiday where I started to get a little stressed out because I was putting off, I had to put off buying a bunch of gifts till the very end. Um, and I was feeling guilty about that. And then I said, you know what? Stop doing that to yourself. The holidays are what you make it. And there is no timeline. All right. If you're doing the best you can, you're doing the best you can. And maybe I should have dropped this episode before Christmas to help you guys or to talk to you guys about how I was handling it, but I didn't, and I'm sharing it with you now. My, I had to tell myself, look, stop with the stress. Maybe you're not going to have everybody's gift on Christmas Day. Maybe by the time you're ready to cash out and buy everybody their gift, it'll be the day before Christmas or the 2 days before Christmas when you're able to do that. And shipping and all that's going to make it late. So be creative. So what did I do? I did that. I wasn't able, I got bills like everybody else. I have things that I got to take care of. I owe people. I owe this. I owe, we're all living life trying to make it. And I was able to, a couple days before Christmas, finish up shopping. I did a lot. I don't do the stores. It's very difficult for me to shop through stores. I just get irritated. So I did everything online. And honestly, everything is delayed with shipping. You know how shipping is during Christmas. So what I did was I just printed out a photo of what I bought them, put it in an envelope, signed it, and I said, "Hey, it's in the mail, but this is what you got. This is your gift." And I know that doesn't sound ideal, but you know what, man? I'm tired. I'm not going to punish myself for not having everything perfect for Christmas. There were gifts that I had in, physical form during Christmas, and that's cool, but there were also a bunch that I didn't have. But I was able to put them in an envelope, have, family members open up the envelopes and see what I got them or what me and my kids got them. And I just let them know, hey, it'll be delivered Sunday. It'll be delivered on Monday, but this is what you got. And to me, it's not ideal. And maybe some of you are laughing listening to this, but hey, it is what it is, man. You have to do what you can. And in my situation, sometimes things just don't line up like that. I always tell you guys, man, this podcast is called The Perfect Mess. And it's my mess. You know what I mean? And it's not always perfect, but it's my mess. And for me, it's perfect. I always tell you guys that. Now, in a perfect world, yes, I would love to have all my bills paid and my money just hit the bank account at the right time so I can go shopping and buy everybody their stuff, wrap it, put it under the tree, done deal. My life's not like that, all right? And I'm okay with that, and I'm learning to be okay with that. So I got better at telling myself, do what's within your capability right now, and don't beat yourself up about it. And I guess I want to tell you guys that, if you weren't able to provide the way you wanted to provide for the holidays, maybe take that into the next year and do something like that if you haven't. So you're not stressing yourself out. So you're not putting yourself in a bad mood. So you're not doing any of that stuff because, man, the holidays are supposed to be joyful. They're supposed to be full of joy and spending time with your family. That's what it's really about. It isn't about you buying 10, 15, 20 gifts for your kids or your spouse or whatever. It's really about the time with your family. And if you can give a few gifts here and there, that's a bonus. So I guess I'm just telling you, for me, it helped me with the stress. It helped me not worry about it and not beat myself up. And I know some of you are probably listening, like, man, I had that same issue. And I'm just told everybody I'm gonna have to buy them something after Christmas because I did have a few friends tell me, bro, I gotta buy something after Christmas. It's too wild. I got this to take care of, and I get it. I get it. Um, but I wanted to share that with you guys because I I ended up having a really good Christmas. I spent time with my kids. My kids every year they come over my place for Christmas Eve, and we decorate the tree. We watch a movie. We have hot cocoa. We all jump and cuddle up on my bed, and the three of us watch a movie, and we crack jokes and just have fun. They open a gift the night before, and then in the morning they open the remainder of the gifts, and then we go to their mom's house. And that's more of the same of what we did this year. And I'm looking at my tree right now, and I don't think I'm going to take my tree down for a while. You know why? Because I like the way I feel during Christmas. And who says I got to take my tree down? I may leave this thing up through January. I don't know. But I like the way I feel when my lights are off and the lights are on in the tree. And I know I'm deviating from what I'm saying, but anyways, my kids came over, and the funniest part of this is, we're listening to Christmas music, we're doing the tree, we put the ornament, the Marine Corps ornament, on the top, and that's for my grandfather. His birthday is Christmas Day, so his ornament always goes at the very top of the tree. So we do that. We have some popcorn. I got some eggnog, and we're hanging out. And my kids are older now; they're 13 and 15. And Jordan's like, "Dad, I want to see Boys in the Hood. Like, I want to watch. I want to watch. What do they want to watch? The Christmas. There was a Christmas movie that we always watch. What the hell was it? Home Alone. They wanted to watch Home Alone. But he said, we always hear about Boys in the Hood. Can we watch Boys in the Hood? And I started laughing. I'm like, you guys want to watch Boys in the Hood on Christmas Eve? And they're like, Dad, you keep saying, and Jordan's like, well, I'm old enough. Like, you said I could watch it with you. And I always hear about it. And I've never seen it. And I'm like, all right, you're older. There's a couple of scenes that I can't let you watch, so I'm going to have to cover your eyes. That was funny, by the way. Anyways, we ended up watching Boys in the Damn Hood. Boys in the Hood on Christmas Eve. That should tell you I got teenagers now, man. So, we're chilling. We're watching Boys in the Hood, and they are just locked in. They're like tripping out that Ice Cube looks so young, and my son is like, is that the guy that played radio? Talking about Cuba Gooding Jr. And they were cracking up on the cars, the way people dressed, the music, everything. There was a couple of sex scenes that obviously you guys, if you've seen it, which if you're my age, I know you've seen it. I had to turn them over and block their eyes. And of course, they're teenagers and I'm wrestling with them and they're trying to do the little open finger peek. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I go, listen, I'm not dumb. I know at some point your friends are going to show you this whole movie, but it wouldn't sit well with me if you're laying here with me and I'm allowing you to see that other stuff. So for what it's worth, I know we're having fun. I'm not going to allow you just to sit here and watch something like that with me here. But I do know that you're teenagers and I know how it goes, okay? But we had a good time. They loved the movie. They were just, we talked about it a little bit. The funny thing about this movie is both of my sons said that Furious Styles, which was Trey's dad, reminded them of me. And it was because of the lessons he was teaching his sons and how firm he was with him. When he came to live with them and he told them about doing his chores and that, all the things that he had to do. And then his son asked him, I know I got to do all these, but what do you got to do? And he told him, all I got to do is pay the bills, put food on the table, keep clothes on your back, and blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. And my son Jordan was like, that sounds like you. And that's the truth. When he got to talking about, what do you know about sex and how he talked about that, when he talked about, about his friends and how he's going to see how they're going to grow up because of the things they're doing. They both said, that's you, Dad. That's you. You always talk like that. And it warmed my heart because they were like, did you learn those things from him? I'm like, no, I didn't. I go, but that's like, for instance, the scene where Lawrence Fishburne is cutting his son Trey's hair, and they start talking about him meeting a girl and having sex, and he tells his dad he didn't use protection, and his dad said, what did I tell you about doing that? I told you got to use the protection I gave you, because the pill is not going to stop your what from falling off. You use protection anyway when a girl tells you that. And Jordan says, I remember you telling me that. I said, I didn't say it exactly like that, but he's right. That's exactly what I meant when I told you. I'm trying to protect you from not only getting a disease, but also getting somebody pregnant. There are a lot of girls that are going to tell you that, oh, I'm good, I got protection, or I'm on the pill, or I'm on this control, or whatever, and they not going to tell you that they missed a day when they took their pill, or their cycle is off a little bit. They're not going to tell you that, and you're going to trust them, and you're going to make a mistake that's going to last for a lifetime. But my son was like, you told me that. And he goes, man, this is crazy. I said, yeah. I said, see, I go, I didn't get that from him, but that is what a good father is supposed to do, son. Do you see how he protects his son, how he's always teaching him and talking to him? And he's like, I know everything's a lesson. I go, right? You guys always tell me that, Dad, you turn everything into a lesson. And I do. And it's important for me. I'm okay with being that dad. I don't mind my kids going around and saying, man, or their friends saying, dude, your dad, every time we talk to your dad or we're around your dad, he turns everything that happens around us into a lesson. I'm okay with that. If that's going to be part of my legacy and what I leave behind, I'm cool with that. Because my whole goal is I want to make these kids better. I always want to impute good things, quality things into their brains. They're never going to be perfect. They are going to make mistakes. But if they can hear that little voice in their ear from time to time, maybe they'll make better decisions. Or maybe right when they're about to make that bad decision, they'll hear that little voice and they'll be like, I'm good. That's why I do this. Now, after that, the next day we went over to their mom's house, and that was cool. I really don't have anywhere else to go. Usually on Christmas Day, I'll come back to the house, I'll chill, I'll even work a little bit. But my both of my brother-in-laws were in town. Well, my brother-in-law that's from out of town was in town. My other brother-in-law who's local was in town, and my mother-in-law was making some good food like she always does. God bless her. She is an amazing cook. And yeah, man, it felt like I was supposed to be there, and I need, spend some time with my kids, and because they even asked me, Dad, are you staying? Are you coming in? And I'm like, yeah, no, that's why I'm here. I'm coming in. Like, oh, okay, cool. Well, let's watch some football. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. So I go in there, and we just had a a good time. We had some good food, good company, good conversation, took some pictures, and it was good. It was good for me. If I left I stayed pretty late. Um, I dozed, like, I'm an old guy now. I know I'm the old guy now because I took at least 2 or 3 naps, like cat naps, where sitting down watching football and you kind of just pass out. Yeah, I was doing one of those. But it was a good day, man. It was really good. I think we all created some really good memories, and that was important. It went well. So I hope that you guys had a really good Christmas, and if you didn't, think about what went wrong, or what didn't sit well with you this Christmas, and let's go into 2025 trying to fix that and make it better. And what I mean by that is address those things that are maybe, because I know, man, I went through a few years where I was harboring grudges. I was angry. I was hurt. I didn't feel like I was important enough. I didn't feel like I was doing enough, and I tortured myself. Um, and I stopped doing that when I started getting clarity, when I started taking care of myself, and realizing that I'm worth more than that, that my kids need to see more of that, more of me being better, and that they need to see a happier version of me. So, listen, man, I always tell you, if you're unsure of how to get there, and maybe you struggled during this holiday season, please message me, man. I'm not hard to get a hold of. And I promise you, I want to leave a legacy of trying to help anybody who's going through something that I know I've gone through. I want to help people get through that. And if you're listening to this or you're watching this and you struggled with Christmas and you struggled with Thanksgiving and you struggled with the holidays and you're having a hard time getting through them because of things that you're going through, whether it be a separation, a divorce, your house being divided, maybe families broken up and your family's out of state, and maybe you just are not where you want to be, message me. I will take the time to talk to you, to message you back, to do whatever I need to do to help you start to see your worth and what you need to do in order to get to where you need to be. All right? This is a constant journey, guys. I'm not talking from a place of I'm already where I need to be. I'm not where I need to be, but I'm far from where I was. I'm far from where I was. And that is a long, long distance. And if I could help anybody get from where they're at right now to here, that's part of the journey. That's a few stepping blocks to get to the top of where you want to be. All right. So I mean that. I always tell you guys that if you need anything, if you have questions, or you just need to hear some positive encouragement, message me, DM me, email me, text me, whatever. You can send me a comment on YouTube, whatever it is. All right. I mean that when I say that. All of this leads me to this, guys. I just talked to you about wanting to help people, wanting to leave a legacy of always trying to make people better. And I got a few messages this week. One of them on Christmas Day, and it was a video of me and my kids in LA in a hotel room singing happy birthday to one of the first kids I ever mentored for his 14th birthday. And his mom sent this to me. And she said, Coach, I just wanted to tell you Merry Christmas. And I wanted to tell you that I thank you so much for creating memories like this for me and my son. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you helping create memories like this for us and how much we love you. And that hit me, man, because he's about to graduate now, and I was mentoring him when he was 10, so he's about to graduate. This is 8 years later, and he is about to graduate this year. And I messaged back and I said, hey, man, I said, that's a throwback video you just sent me. I said, it's not a problem, man. We love you guys. And that's the reason why I take photos and videos of everything that we do. Some people always tell me, like, man, you're always documenting. I am, because of things like that, because of moments like that, because they always come back. So I told her thank you. Her son messaged me as well, and it was like, hey, Coach, Merry Christmas. I hope you and the boys are having a good one. I just want to tell you thank you for everything. And that feels good. That feels great. I can't tell you that, or how many times I have heard from parents recently that have told me, I'm glad that my son is being coached and trained by you. I'm glad that my son is working with you and your sons. I'm glad that we have the opportunity to have my son around you guys because you're such a positive influence. I'm glad that you have taken my son to the gym to show him to have confidence because it's working. My son didn't have any confidence until he got with you and you started training with him and teaching him. Those messages mean the most to me because that is what I want to do. I know from experience, I know how I used to feel where my confidence level lacked when I didn't have a strong male role model in my life, when I didn't know how to do certain things to make me feel better. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't train with somebody who taught me how to play baseball or play football or trained me and taught me how to run fast or run correctly and be more agile. I didn't train with somebody to show me how to lift weights correctly, how to track my lifting and my weight and teach me about all these things. I didn't have any of that, and I know what it would have done for me. So if you notice, I always talk about, and I have talked about in the past, of becoming the person that you needed when you were growing up. And what I needed was what I'm doing right now. If you've watched me on Instagram, if you've watched me on YouTube, you see the things that I do with my kids and the kids that I train. I go to the gym. We're hitting the weights hard. We're hitting the treadmills. We're hitting the track. We're going to the field. We're training on the field. We're running. We're hiking. We're doing all of these things. Lifting weights, throwing the weighted ball around, fielding, batting, doing all these types of things. And on top of that, we're having dialogue, which might be the most important part of all of that. I share with these kids where I was so they understand I'm not speaking from this level up here above your head. I'm speaking right here at your eye level to show you that where I was and why I am the way I am right now. The dialogue during these workouts and trainings might be the most important because that's where the growth is. Yeah, you're growing, you're getting physically strong, you're getting fit, but you're growing mentally because you are hearing the things that I've gone through myself, where I was in my darkest times when I was in the gym. And you're seeing me now and you're realizing, like, I can't see my coach being like that. Well, you can't see me being like that because I am so strong now, but I wasn't always this strong. I wasn't always this confident. In fact, I was very broken. I was very emotional and I was very weak. And during those times, I didn't want to be here. I shared with one of the kids that I was training in the gym. We went to 24-hour and we did a 2-hour workout. We do an hour and a half workout and then we do 15 on the treadmill and then we do 15 in the sauna. So the first hour and a half, I shared with him in between workouts, hey, this particular gym that we're in right now, I spent long nights in here. Long nights. 5-6 years ago. Where I would come in here at 1:30 in the morning, be working out. There'd be 4 or 5 people in here. And there were times where I would just be in tears because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what was going on in my life. And I shared with him the moment my boy Dante walked. He wasn't my friend at the time. I had never met him. The night that my friend Dante came up to me and tapped me on my shoulder and told me that he sees me and whatever I'm going through, the few people that are in here right now are going through something similar. Everybody's battling something, but keep coming back and don't give up on yourself. I share that story with the kid I was training because I need these kids to understand life is hard, man. Life gets very hard. It's never easy. And the moments that it is easy, brace yourself because something hard's coming around the corner. It always happens. But I share these stories because I need them to understand I overcame that. I overcame my darkest times to be the best father, to be the best coach, to be the best man that you see right now. The man that you guys talk to all these people about, the man that you guys call coach, the man that your parents say, man, I'm really glad that he's around. That man, I'm only that man because of God and because I never gave up and because I kept working every day. And now it's my job to take what God gave me and blessed me with and give it to you and anybody willing to listen and willing to put in the work. That is my job. That is my purpose. Why do you think I love coaching so much? I love to win. Don't get me wrong. Winning is top of the line. I love to win. But you know what I love more? I love making a difference. I love taking somebody who is not polished, and by the time I'm done with them, they are polished. They are great. They are in a better place than when they came to me. Not just athletically, but spiritually, mentally, because they see it. They learned it. And if we can win some games along the way, great. But I enjoy teaching and mentoring and giving life lessons, because if you can leave me and years down the line say, you know what, I am the man I am today, a big reason is because of my coach. I've had a lot of coaches, but this coach in particular helped change my life. I promise you, that is a goal of mine. I always talk about my other coach, Rudy, who changed my life. I want nothing more than to be that influence on every kid that I coach, every kid that I train. And to be honest with you, I want to be that to some of the men who are going through the shit that I went through 7 years ago. Because as a man, it's probably more important to get you fixed before you do something that you're going to regret. And you know what I'm talking about, because I was there. I saw this quote online. It says, it's easier to teach and raise a young man early, properly, than to correct the traumas of a broken man. You hear what I just said? In layman's terms, if you don't take the responsibility of trying to make kids better, particularly young boys, they turn out to be broken old men. And then it is difficult as fuck to try and fix them and repair them. So the goal is to try to make stronger young men, whether it be spiritually, mentally, physically, all three of those things. That's the goal. Make young men stronger now, so they don't grow up to be broken old men with so much trauma that they don't know how to bounce back. I know, man. You guys, if you've been here from episode 1, you know how fucked up my life was. You know. It has taken me a long time to bounce back from the shit that I went through as a kid. And I don't want that for my kids, which is why I go so damn hard right now. And I don't want that for any kid that I train or coach or mentor. I told my kids that I sacrificed a lot of stuff in my life so I could have all the time that I needed to raise them right. And I don't feel bad about that. I don't. I I think about this all the time. You know, I'm going into this next baseball season. I've got a whole batch of new kids that I've never met. And there's always a few that are going through stuff off the field that we end up having to address and have a conversation about. And I'm looking forward to the challenges, and I'm looking forward to the opportunities, because I know that's what they are. Yeah, they are challenges. They are going to be difficult, um, but they're opportunities. And with an opportunity is where you can make an impact. And I'm all about making an impact. So that's really all I got, man. I just wanted to check in with you guys, uh, talk to you about Christmas, talk to you about the message that I got on Christmas Day, and then talk to you a little bit about why that's so important to me, about making such an impact with these kids and these families. I don't know. One of the dads messaged me and was like, "I'm not gonna say your name," uh, but one of the dads messaged me and was like, "Yo, man, you want me to hook you up with somebody, man? My wife's got some great friends, and man," and I'm like, "Honestly, don't do that." He's like, "No, man, you too good, man. Like the stuff you done with my son and the other kids, and man, you too good of a guy to be single, man. Like I'm like, listen, I appreciate all that, I do, but for me, it has to be organic. For me, it has it has to be. I'm very what do I say? I'm very in tune with how God moves in my life. And if I feel like it's forced, I don't run to it. So it just kind of has to happen for me. But I told him, I go, man, I appreciate it. Uh, I just never been the guy who's asked somebody to hook me up. I don't want to do all that. And honestly, I'm happy right now. One of I think my sister-in-law, would she say, "Oh, you're dating or you're this?" And I'm like, I'm dating myself right now. I'm dating myself. You know, I'm still getting to know this version of me. I'm liking this version of me. This version of me, because I've focused on me and just me and coaching and stuff, has rewarded me the most. All right. This version of me and dating myself got me this job at this high school. This version of me got me this position on the board at this travel ball organization. This version of me it's just got me to a happier place in my life. Um, and I think for now I'm supposed to be single. That's just the way I feel. So that's that. Uh, but brother, you know who you are. I appreciate you, man. I know you're only looking out for me, and I love that, man. I appreciate you. Um, that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Uh, I hope you had a great, great Christmas. And if you didn't, like I said, send me a message. Here comes New Year's, man. It's coming. And to me, it's just a flip of the calendar. Hey, man, I turned 50 this year. Pretty fucking wild, man. Pretty wild. But 2025 is around the corner, and you know, if you're trying to take care of yourself in fitness, you know how it goes. If you're getting a membership, January, February, March starts to tail off, but those first 2.5 months, that gym is going to be packed to the gill. So I have a lot of home workout stuff that I can still use. So those days where I go in the gym and it's just chaos, I'm coming back home to work out at home. So that's the blessing of having equipment. But it's coming, and don't do a New Year's resolution. All right? Those never work. Just do it. Just do the work. Don't make no promises to nobody. Don't make anything promises that you might break. Just say, you know what? I'm going to work on these things to get better this year. And then just start knocking them off the list. I got a whiteboard. I always tell you guys right here. I got a whiteboard right here. and I write stuff on it all the time. Right now, it's just it's a reminder. It's telling me everything that I am, and it's telling me, Ray, don't forget who you are. It literally says that, Ray, don't forget who you are. And then there's bullet points of everything that I do: coaching, mentoring, entrepreneur. It says everything. And then at the bottom in real big letters, it says, do not give up, Ray. I kid you not. It's right here on my whiteboard. Go into your new year and just start knocking things off your list. I am hoping to be 100% debt free by mid next year. That's the goal. I'm trying not to stress out about it, but I think I can do it. I think I can do it. We'll see. All right. I love you guys. I really, really appreciate you guys continuing to mess with the podcast. And it just means a lot, man. It's my life. It's nothing crazy. It's just a simple podcast, but you guys seem to like it, and I appreciate that. If you're on Spotify, Apple, make sure to subscribe, follow, leave a comment. Please share the podcast on both of those applications. Tell people about it. Leave a review. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get all of the notifications for any videos that I put up. Hit subscribe. Again, it's youtube.com/theperfectmesspod. My Instagram is It's Ray Molina. The podcast is The Perfect Mess Pod, and that's the same on TikTok. What else? I'm on X. My name on X is I Am Ray Molina. And what else? I think that's it. For those who want to donate, you don't have to, but if you want to, I have a Cash App. It's $ It's Ray Molina. My Venmo is at It's Ray Molina. Yeah, man. Oh, before I get out of here, my website is raymolina.com. My government name, raymolina.com. Go there. I have my training up now. So for speed and agility training, you can book me for that. For strength training, you can book me for that. And for any baseball training, skills and hitting, you can book me for that. It's all on my website now. I am going to put some new merchandise up soon, so be looking for that. But there is merchandise for some reason. I don't know if my link was shared recently or somewhere or something, but all of a sudden my merch started picking up again. But there is merchandise on there right now. I made a small change. For those of you guys who are very fanatical about the flag like I am, I made a small change. So on the arm, on the right sleeve of all my t-shirts, I had the flag on the sleeve, right? And I caught something. I actually made a mistake. I had the flag pointing the wrong way. And I noticed that, and it bugged the living shit out of me. So what I did was I reversed it, and now the stars are here, and it's pointing back, which is the correct way. So I corrected that on every piece of merchandise. So if you have seen my merchandise and maybe that bothered you because you're a military person or you're very fanatical about it, I apologize. I didn't even catch that until maybe a week ago. All right, so it's corrected. All right, love you guys. Again, my website is raymolina.com. Follow me on Instagram. It's Ray Molina. And that's all I got. Like I always say, my life isn't perfect. Oftentimes it is a mess. But for me, it is the perfect mess. Peace.